Hi, it's Kevin. You're with me right now at Playa Mariana. We just finished driving down the coastal highway 1.8 kilometers from our border to the Topography River behind us. And the road's not yet paved, all right? So to date this video, I'm not sure when you're watching it. It's May the 2nd today, and it's Saturday about 12:20. And I'm here on site doing a full inspection to see what's going on, because I do that every single 2 weeks. Now, the bridge, the beams are across, so you can drive across, and I suspect you can drive all the way to Casares, Boquita, Juguete. Those are towns 10 to 12 kilometers, behind me that way when you cross the river. Or when you go back from Playa Mariana, you'll reach Masachapa in 6.5 kilometers, and then 4 kilometers after that, you get the San Rafael del Sur. So we're kind of in the zone where, from a circular nature, within 15 kilometers, you have 4 towns, and then Masachapa and Pochimil, so 6 real designated areas for services, beaches, locations where you can go and visit. And when the coastal highway is complete and the speed limit is increased from currently 50 kilometers an hour to 80 kilometers an hour, you should be able to get down to San Juan del Sur in about an hour and 15. We don't yet know what they're going to do with the road through the Chococentro Reserve. Right now, when you look at any map or any construction, the road goes from Masachapa, Playa Mariana, where we are right now in the Pacific Passage region, all the way down to the reserve. And then it comes up from the border, not the border where you cross, the border where there's a military checkpoint is where the coastal highway goes to, and then flows up to San Juan del Sur. Then from San Juan del Sur, it comes up and passes the projects you're familiar with, like Rancho Santana and Iguana Beach and Guacalito, and then all the other beaches along the way until it reaches the reserve. Okay, so you have 2 ends of the road meeting this reserve that's in the middle, and it's huge. And it's maybe only 6 kilometers to go through the reserve, but there's no real direction right now whether they're going through reserve or they're going to go around it. And so there's issues around that. So as soon as I find out, I'll be sure to share that with you. But you've been following along with the progress, right? So this is a continuation of whatever part of the video you're seeing. So we're talking about the water project that started at the end of December, meaning December 26, in activating the well that was already drilled on site and building a pump house. You may have seen some of those images. We're definitely going to see them later today and see what's going on. We're expecting the water tanks to arrive next week. So hopefully that whole entire water project is finished by the end of next week. I was talking previously about how we just finished doing the topography on 150 acres with all the contour lines. We invested to know what all that was. We knew it already, but we needed to redo the topography so it matched the coastal highway, it matched our AutoCAD plan, it matched the curves within the project, so future development and the construction of stuff, the architect would know how to utilize the land. And also for the civil engineering as well. There was a lot of dirt that was moved in the construction of this coastal highway. Now, you've seen some of the pictures, but what you need to understand about this highway, and I didn't really know, is you see it raised above land. So there was the fence line, which we're going to drive. You're going to see it soon, okay? Now, when we drive through the line, you're going to see it flat. But right now, the highway is some 10, 12 feet higher, okay, than the original land. There's the highway, okay, and then on both sides of the highway, we own land. So as we've been driving, and as you will see, we own 1.8 kilometers of frontage on both sides of the property. And it's elevated up like 10 feet. Now, this is a channel where I tell you what's going on, right? Good, bad, and different. So behind the scenes. So there's a real importance about that. Because when the highway came through our plan, we had to start working on the master plan, which took some time. And it took some time to really identify exactly where the highway was and the coordinates and the topography of the highway. We had to do all that. They didn't just give it to us. And so with the highway now going through the property with a master plan, it's not like some other projects where you may only have a blip of time, like 100 meters maybe, to carve out a path, okay, to wherever your project is going to be. Because MTE, the Ministry of Transportation in Nicaragua, they already have designated points along the entire coastal highway where the ramps are going to be created from the top of the highway down into the access to land that's on either side of the road, because they just can't cut you off from accessing your land. So when you want to move that or change that, you need to be ahead of the process. But to be ahead of the process, that means your master plan needs to be completed so you know where the entrances are, and then be able to communicate that with the site supervisor and the engineers and the government, so you kind of get your entrance where you want it, right? Because if you don't get your entrance where you want it, you might have to shift the master plan and the entrances to basically allow for that. Now, we've done that, and they've built a temporary ramp. I've showed you some of the pictures and the images of that. I don't believe that's the final ramp. We're marking off in the project right now, this week, where the entrances are that are now geodesically located. Geodesically? I don't think that's the word. Geodesic points are located. So when the ramp people come to build, we are in coordination with them to build it in the right spot. The only thing we really don't know right now is, I mentioned that most people's entrances off the coastal highway is all about 100 meters, maybe even less in some spots. But we have 1.8 kilometers, which is 1,800 meters. So think of it, if we had 18 different owners who all wanted their own entrance on both sides of the highway, that would be like 36 ramps that you would have to build along 1.8 kilometers of highway to be able to give access to landowners who had lots off of the highway, right? Does that make sense? Now, of course, we don't need 36 entrances. We want or 6, all right? And 6 entrances located in specific spots on both sides. Okay, so people who are on the ocean side of our property can cross over to the other side and vice versa. Now that takes a little bit of coordination. So we've been working on that. So master plan, the water, the coordination of the coastal highway points and the ramps, and as well as we've been working on the fencing and the security and the perimeter of the project, replacing old poles with new poles, old barbed wire with new barbed wire, kicking out cows that shouldn't be there, making sure our borders are secure all around the property. That's why you see new poles and new fencing, all very important. Time consuming, costly, but has to be done. So this was effectively the most important things for us to do, which is get water activated, the master plan done, the entrances located, the ramps in the right spot, and secure our borders. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So we're not yet under construction per se, coming out of the ground, because all these preliminary stuff needs to be done. Now, while we've been doing all of this stuff, we have been designing in behind the background with our condominiums and our bungalows and positioning how things are going to be. And I'm going to tell you about that. Should I tell you about that in another video? No, I'll keep going. I'm right here. It's actually pretty relaxed right now. So what's happening right now is along our beachfront of 2 kilometers, and I've mentioned it before, but in case you're just watching this for the first time, our beachfront, the 1.2 kilometers of our beachfront is what you can actually develop land on. The other part of the beachfront has the river, and the river kind of flows in front of the land, and it creates an environmentally protective area. And we've known that for 20 years, so you can't develop any property there. Now, over the years and through different circumstances and markets, we've sold all that land, all right? So we don't actually own that land anymore. So we couldn't develop on it even if we wanted to. And when you look at our master plan today, it's only 150 acres out of the total property of 923, because that's where we're focusing on. So we don't want to distract your attention with more stuff that'll happen into the future, but focus your attention on the phasing strategy of what's along the coastal highway now that it's here along the ocean side of the project. It makes sense to me. And the key features to understand is this. Now it's hot. It's like 34 degrees here now at the beach. Again, I'm not sure if I told you the date, but it's May 2nd today and Saturday. It's 12:30 in the afternoon. It's hot outside. So what's going to happen is down on the corner of our beachfront, which we're going to drive to next. So wherever you're watching this video, perhaps afterwards, or maybe if I clip it together, we're going to drive the highway and they're going to go into the entrance and almost all the way down to the beach. And in this area, you may have seen it in previous videos, there's a white house there. It's our neighbor's house. And on the right side, we're developing our beach club and condos, which will be open to the public. It's private, but you can come there and use it as a day pass, all right? That's kind of like the public area, so we're not disallowing anybody from entering the property. You can come there, you can pay, you can use, because it's an amazing beach. And then on the other side of that is our Laya Boutique Hotel, we call it Playa Resort, but it's basically a boutique hotel with 7 to 10 bungalows, very light structures, no kitchens in the units, and it's higher end AC. I mean, it's luxury boutique beachfront bungalows, okay, directly fronting the ocean. You're going to see those come out of the ground very, very soon. A restaurant, the bungalows, and the pool to get started. There's other amenities like a spa and yoga platform, gym, which are small structures to fit in this area. So both areas, the beachfront condos and the beachfront, are about 2 acres, and the bungalow hotel area is about 2 acres. All right, so that's what you're going to see in the corner. Now, in the next 3 or 4 months, I've hinted at it, I have mentioned it, but there's a letter of intent in place for an international hotel to come to Playa Mariana. And the agreements now are being worked on to come to the point in which I can make a super big announcement of a, I don't want to say boutique, but call it 100 to 150 room hotel that could be built and expand over time. Because you don't want to build 150 rooms and only have 30 of them used, and the other 120 are changing bed sheets every 2 days so they don't get moldy and smelly. So it has room to grow on 10 acres of land. We will start at the beach and work our way back, but we'll build it as quickly as the demand for rooms are met. But the hotel is going to be a condo hotel. You'll be able to purchase beachfront residential units within the hotel complex and take part of the cash flow in the program and utilizing the units inside the hotel. So it's going to be great. So stay tuned for more. I don't want to share too much details now, but you're going to get a lot out of that when the time comes. And then that is the core focus. And then, so we have our entrance, which you're going to see very shortly, which is one of 3, but we're going to use the temporary service entrance now and make it a real nice entrance. And then you'll drive down the main road and you'll get to the top of the slope. Now, I say top of the slope. What does that mean? It means that in our project, in the case you're just watching this for the first time, there's really 2 levels of the project. There's the beachfront level, and there's a slope 20 meters above the beachfront area. All right. And what happens is between this area, it goes down a 45-degree angle, more or less. Some areas it's kind of like this, other areas it's like that. This is like the slope is something that needs to be worked on in the civil engineering. But nevertheless, there's 2 levels. So here at Playa Mariana, you have 2 kilometers of straight beachfront access, pure freehold title beachfront. And then above that, you have a shelf, okay, that overlooks all of that to the ocean. All right, so anything built on the top shelf, you might say is already 6 stories above sea level. Okay, think about that for a second. So when you build a house here, you already have an immediate ocean view. And on the 2nd story of any house, you're basically the equivalent of 7 stories above sea level. And you have this massive, massive ocean view. And you're going to see that very shortly, okay, if you had not already seen it. So it's an incredible blessing. Like this is the most, this is the most valuable property in the entire country of Nicaragua. The absolute pristine beach you're ever going to see. And we have this unique structure of the land in which gives us a canvas to create something absolutely amazing. Now, one core feature that you need to know and understand is when we're developing property here at Playa Mariana, everything must have an ocean view. There'll never be a unit that within your unit you do not see the ocean. If you can't see the ocean, then there's just no unit for sale. All right, so there's no 2nd row, there's no 3rd row. Well, there might be, but you're going to have an ocean view, a clear ocean view. All right, you're not going to be like back to back and somebody's blocking you. Okay, so we're utilizing our land to provide the best opportunity to give you, the viewer, the owner, the purchaser of real estate here at Playa Mariana, the absolute spectacular view. So when you think of views like at Rancho Santana or at Romanzo or any other views that are up on a cliff, that's what we have here, except you can walk to the beach. Whereas every other project in the country, you can't walk to the beach, all right? Whether it's Rancho Santana or it's Romanzo, there's no beach. You can't walk, there's no beach. You got to drive down, you can't access the beach. Beautiful views, amazing location, right? But there's no beach, all right? And when you get to the beach, not all beaches are created equal. As you've seen, because I've visited all the projects, I've shown you exactly every single project, and I've shown you every single beach, so you know, right? Right? I'm talking to at least one person here, right? One person, you know that we have the best beach in the country. So we'll be launching, we have launched, soft launch, you might say, seeing how the market is. So there is the development side of the project, which is that in what I just described. The other side has been the sales and marketing side, and that's important. So let's talk about that for a second as well. This is your update, in the car update. Hopefully you're not getting too much feedback because of the car running. It's hot out there. All right, so on the marketing side, what have you been seeing? All right, so since, let's say December, when we started marketing again to bring the project and give it more awareness, you're seeing us across all the social media channels, whether it be TikTok or YouTube or LinkedIn, X, Facebook, okay, Pinterest. We are everywhere, okay? And I'm providing you behind the scenes access of what it is that we're doing and how to, and what's involved to develop 923 acres of real estate in Nicaragua, and of course, more specifically here at Playa Mariana, 8 kilometers south of Masachapa. That's important because, well, it's easy to get caught up on the emotions of buying real estate in the country. I really want you to understand the logical reasons why you want to buy it. Any property, period, one, but certainly with us, because we're as transparent as it can be. And my whole core focus is to help you buy real estate overseas and avoid the common mistakes that people make. And being that I've been a real estate developer for 20 years now, developing land, going through different market cycles, I'm trying to tell you what no real estate developer will tell you, or may not even know, and certainly no real estate agent will tell you, and also may not even know. So when you follow Playa Mariana, when you've been watching what we've been doing, that's the flavor of why you're watching this channel. I'm here to educate you so you make a great decision, because I believe that no one project is for everybody, right? You might like surf. Like, we're not a surfing beach, right? But if you want beach and you want to swim and safe and no rip currents and no algae and no coral, no rocks, like, this is it. There's just no question. This is it here at Playa Mariana. Especially when you have all those surrounding towns that I talked about, right? Masachapa, Pochimil, San Rafael del Sur, Casares, Boquete, Huete. Unlimited activity and people all around to get out and find services. You're not stranded in the middle of nowhere. All right, so with that understood, I said what? I'm here to educate you, all right? I'm here to do what? Educate you, that's right. So in January, that started with, and what you saw was our One Country Away challenge. That was 5 days in a row that I went live for an hour and a bit, and I was teaching you how to buy real estate overseas, but not here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I came at it a lot differently to give you a perspective to think about things in a way probably which you've never done before. I'll just say it. And all those replays are on YouTube, right? So that was January, and those are some of the clips. I'm not sure what you're watching right now, but wherever you're seeing this video, however you found me, you're probably seeing hundreds of clips, all right, from 6.5 hours of video that we're now getting out to try and educate people a little bit at a time. But I highly encourage you to go watch the links down below in the description, somewhere wherever you might be watching this video, and go watch the full video because you're going to learn a lot. And then in February 19th to the 23rd, we hosted our first groundbreaking discovery event in 2026 to welcome people in, to let the market know that there's construction going on, the road is going through the project, the master plan is changing, the well is operational, we're securing the borders of the land. I don't want to say getting started because I've been doing this for a while, but because the project was dormant, for lack of a better word, through the history of the development and Nicaragua's pandemics, demonstrations, and other things as well. It's just time to get back into business. So we were letting people know, hey, like, check it out, we're here, right? Playa Mariana's coming. There's something going on here right now. And we hosted some friends and some family and some existing clients and some potential clients for a small, intimate event. And that was wonderful. It worked out all the bugs, okay, of holding events, because we've done this before many a times. And that was February. And then in March, no, I got it backwards. Oh my gosh, I got it backwards. Excuse me. What I just described for you in that event, what happened in March 19th to the 23rd. What happened between January One Country Way Challenge and the March event I just described, all right? That was the launch of our real estate product, okay? We were introduced some condos into the marketplace and some beachfront home sites and properties that were being resold, because we've sold quite a bit of properties and transferred over 100 titles. And we wanted to see how the market would respond to properties for sale, and it was great. Okay, we lots of people, thousands and thousands of people registered for more information for the limited supply of product that we had. And then the event that I had previously mentioned was to support that launch. So from a marketing side, we've put ourselves out there because we had the One Country Way challenge that was 6.5 hours of recordings. And then in the launch event, which was February 19th to 22nd, February 22nd, 4 days. I went live from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3.5 hours per day explaining to you about Nicaragua and the project. In fact, it was probably too long, too much information. And then I thought, hey, there's so much good information that I want to share. Sunday, I went live, I think from 5 o'clock to midnight, 7 hours, a live presentation for 7 hours, going through even more details. Now, of course, nobody was on the line, okay, from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, so nobody stayed that long, but I was on a roll, so I wanted to do it because there was a lot of information to share, and I still didn't get through all of it. That's a bit of a challenge, isn't it, right? You're a developer, and you want people to logically make a good decision to buy real estate. To do so, I would need 8 to 12 hours of your time to present all the information that would assure you that there's absolutely no risk buying property from Playa Mariana and from Kevin Fleming. Otherwise, you make an emotional decision in 5 minutes, you don't do your due diligence, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you end up getting screwed. Okay? That happens all the time. Probably every single week across Latin America. Because why? It's emotional. You get down to the beach, it's really, really powerful, and you're going to see that in a second. So that's what we're doing marketing, and now moving forward, we'll repeat the process, okay, and we'll continue towards attracting more people to bring and show Playa Mariana to the world. And so right now we're waiting for the coastal highway to finish its paving. Now we want the road to be done, right? We want the road to be done. I want to finish the pump house and the construction of what we're doing. And we really want to get started on a restaurant, pool, and sample casita and tiny home on the beach. And all of this construction will be a little bit quiet behind the scenes and won't be showing you as much as I have been because I've been trying to make you aware of what I'm doing. But in November, we're going to have another huge event, all right? We have some people coming down in May, some people in June, and we're always going to host people coming into the country. But a major event, like a restaurant opening, staying in one of our units, that's going to come in November, providing there's no surprises in the construction process, all right? So that's the update. Nicaragua's doing great. The highway's scheduled for completion. It's already opening and running in many of the areas around the country. There's a brand new airport to support 3 million visitors into the country per year. They're really putting in the structure. It's a safe country in regards to structure and coming into. It's well located in regards to flights and coming to the country. There's so much tourist activity in the country and sites to see, you can't possibly do it all. I'm sure you can't even keep up with all the videos of me giving you clips of all the things there is to do. So you're never going to run out of things to do in the country, which is that's really important. And lastly, there's a lot of foreign investment in the country. When you drive around Managua, Managapa, Hinontepe, Hinotega, wherever you go, you see new constructions, you see cranes, you see dump trucks, you see a lot of stuff taking place. The country is very active. So I'm not sure what you're reading or what you might know or what biases you have, but I suggest you throw it all out the window. There's nothing you're going to know for sure until you come down here and see it for yourself. And I know one thing absolutely for sure after 20 years, and that is when you don't pick up the phone to talk to someone or get on a Zoom call, like with a guy like me, to get the inside scoop in 30 minutes for free, hint, that's a hint for go down below in the description and click the link to book a call with me. Or the second step is, what do you think the second step is? To come into country, right? To come to Nicaragua. Where are you going to come? To Nicaragua, that's right. So if you don't talk to someone, and if you don't come into the country, I hate to see it plainly, but you're just not going to do anything. You're just going to keep watching and dreaming and wishing that it was you that owned that beachfront property, or it was you that owned that beachfront condo, or it was you that owned that hotel investment property, or it was you that became a developer as a sub-developer within a larger development. You're just going to keep watching and missing out. And there's not too many more countries, right? I mean, Costa Rica, forget it. Panama, forget it. Mexico, forget it. Dominican Republic, forget it. All right, those are very, to some degree, Honduras and Roatan, these are very expensive countries to go to and buy real estate. Why? Because they're developed. Why? Because there's thousands of millions of people visiting these places every single year. But Nicaragua doesn't have that traffic. I mean, pay attention when you're in the airport, wherever you are, maybe watching this video. Look at the people standing in line all right? Check out the other boards. You may be walking only for your gate, but look at the gates and on the board, all right? And when you got 7 or 8 hours of time or 4-hour layover, this might be boring and kind of geeky. It's what I do, all right? I walk through the airport. I look at the gates to Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, Honduras, okay, Mexico, whether it's Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, and I walk to those gates and I look at the people, and then I kind of get a percentage of mine. 60% are tourists, 40% local. Or I walk to another gate in Panama and I might see 70% tourists and 30% local. I try to get a sense of who's traveling where, okay? Then you get to the gate for Nicaragua, it's probably 95% local and 5% tourist. And that's a huge, huge opportunity, because if you can just drive in just even 2 or 3% of all the other traffic from all the other places into the country, there probably wouldn't be enough rooms in the country today to fill those heads in the beds, as the industry saying goes. So I'm not going to tell you that, hey, come by Nicaragua. There's a shortage of hotel rooms and it's a great guaranteed investment. I don't do that. Maybe you want to listen to someone else who wants to guarantee stuff. That's not me. All right. But what I will tell is just think about it yourself logically. All right. When an airport only holds 1 million people and wants to go to 3 million people, and when the current occupancy rate in the country is 40 to 60% on average and 80 to 90% in the high seasons, where are you going to put 2 extra million people, or is there any more rooms? And that's where Playa Mariana comes in, right? With new hotels and other development opportunities that will come into the country in other projects as well. And just to plug Playa Mariana, when you're watching all the way to the end, or you fast forwarded, this is the part where I tell you we have 100 acres of land, and we're inviting sub-developers, contractors, builders, developers, come to Playa Mariana, come talk to me, go down below in the links, look for the email, reach out to me across any social media platform, DM me. There's plenty of opportunities within our project for you to come and build starting tomorrow. Think about that. How would you like to skip 3 and 4 years of time and be able to start construction as fast as you can design something, okay, and get the construction documents done? That is your only limitation. You don't have to worry about development permits. You don't have to worry about water. You don't have to worry about fault lines. You don't have to worry about geology. You don't have to worry about cultural findings and archaeological discoveries. You don't have to worry about beach access. You don't have to worry about views. You don't have to worry about location. I have that all covered for you. So I'm talking to at least one person right now. Look down below in the description. Look at the DMs. Reach out to me when you're ready to start building in Nicaragua for yourself, or you want to make money developing, or more importantly, you want to give back to the community, the jobs, and be part of something greater, bigger than yourselves. This is the place where you can find all that meaning and purpose here at Playa Mariana. So I'm going to sign up with that. So again, I'm Kevin Fleming for Grupo Mariana, developer here at Playa Mariana. Go down below in the links, check out what it is that we have to offer, and when you do, you're going to be glad you did.